Hello, folks. Hi, Leanna. Happy birthday, honey. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Heather. Ooh, Linda has joined the Rosettes. Welcome to the Rosettes, Linda. Thank you. We always welcome new folks. Hey, Georgina. Yes, please do hit the like button. That helps me a lot. I appreciate it when you do. Um, I actually have been looking for some little snowflakes this morning, so I need to go see if I can. There's one other place to look. I haven't looked yet, so I need to do that. But from yesterday, we finished our blue and crystal snowflake with no spacers, just the wire wrapping. And then we also made the crystal and red one with the bead caps in between for the wire to wrap around. We haven't finished it because it needs its hook and its snowflake at the bottom of it. Hey, Anita. Then we also made an all crystal one. It still needs finished as well. And we went to start a green one so I could show you how just to use 2 bead caps is in place of a double one. And my internet went out yesterday. Hopefully it doesn't stay out or go out again. But I have been looking for some of my snowflakes. There's one more place I actually need to look for some. And flowers, leaves, and flowers. Oh, come on. Where are my snowflakes? There's a whole box of them. There's some. Okay. Found my snowflakes. I have them in like 3 or 4 different styles in this box, so we can get some snowflakes on the bottom of these. Though it looks like most of these are gold, so maybe we'll just use the ones I already had here. We'll see. Anyway, let's turn down and we will finish off the original the 2 that we hadn't finished before, and we will get started on our green one. There's our icicles that we started yesterday. This one, like I said, is finished. This one, I've got one hook made. We can put it on either one of these. And I've got my box of snowflakes here. Now, these are mainly gold, as you can see, these snowflakes, but I do have a variety of snowflakes in here. We do have this little silver one here we can use for one of these. And then I have these pretty ones. These are pretty big here. I do have some there. I could use on one of them if I wish to. Or I got these pretty ones that were in our Glacier Glimmers companion bundles. So we could use one of those. So since we have going to have 3 more that need them, we'll just get one of these out. And I think since this one has this little crystal, we'll put it on this one. And it doesn't matter which one we use per se. So let's get some little jump rings out. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Kimberly. So we'll put this little crystal snowflake on the bottom of this one. Now this little snowflake is small, so it's not gonna, make a big impact. Same with this one here. Then I've already got this hook made, so I'm just gonna open this up right here and slide our icicle on, close it back up. And this one is finished. Backwards, because my little crystal is not showing. There we go. Come on, you. Okay. Now we put this one on here. And then we'll need to make another hook. Well, we'll need 2 total once we finish the green one. So we'll open this one up. Put this little snowflake on the bottom down here. Now, whoa! Butterfingers. At least I managed to catch the icicle so it didn't hit the ground. So there's the icicle. We need a hook for this one, and it'll be entirely finished. For a hook, I tend to use either 16 or 18 gauge wire, depending on what I have more of, or what I have handy, so to speak. You don't need a great deal. This is 16. Come on, I just had the end right there. Where'd it go? There it is. So you need about this much, maybe not even that much. You just need enough to put 2 loops and the bend. So we're going to cut it right here. I'm going to set this aside. We'll want it when we go to do our other one, the one for that. And now I'm going to make a bigger loop on one side. Just turn that till it meets. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to put a smaller loop on this side. This one, the smaller loop, is more of a decorative one than any necessity. So we have the small one, and then we'll hook it on the bigger one. So then I'm going to get my wire mandrel, choose where I figure I want my bend to be, maybe a little bigger. So there's a hook. So then we'll just open this hook up. I think this may have been 14 because it's thicker than this is. And put this baby on here. And close it up. So now these 3 are entirely finished. Hopefully our internet won't become a bugger again today like it was yesterday. Hey, Cynthia. And now we're going to get our pieces out for our green one again. And sort of set these to the side so they're hopefully not in our way. Now I've got two sizes of bead caps here. I'm going to use the bigger ones on the bigger beads, and I use the smaller ones on the smaller size here. So we're going to estimate this is probably about 5 inches like the other once we get done. So we need 15 inches of our 20 gauge wire. Okay, where are we going to put that so it stays put? So 12. And then another 3 or 4 inches. So that looks good. So we're going to straighten this up on this end. Just, it doesn't need to be straightened all the way, just this one end, because we're going to wrap with the other end. And we're going to make a regular wrap loop up at the top here. I'm going to use the second one so I have plenty of loop for my hook to hook onto. And we're going to just make a regular wrapped loop here. Oop, come on, hold. This other end over here is trying to grab my tools. So. Okay. Now we're just going to feed our bead caps and our beads onto our wire, just like we would normally. But we're going to have two bead caps facing each other. So when they go on, they'll look like a double bead cap almost, but they're just two bead caps facing each other down. So now this one is going to get one of the smaller ones because it's a little skinnier bead, and the small one will fit fine. Now I think this one is supposed to go for this one, but it looks like I am missing one. So at least one bead cap, if not more. So we'll have to get a few more out. Come on, go on there. So, Okay, so we'll feed those up here. Well, this one ended up being a bit longer. Not that I think it's going to be a problem, but that's all right. So now we're going to make our loop right here at the bottom. So then we'll just bring her up and go between the two bead caps, just as if it were a double. Come on, you bend. There we go. And then just keep going up the line. And I'm not sure I cut enough wire. This one was a little longer than I thought it was, so we may have to do an ending at one of these bead caps as opposed to keep going on. See, it's going to end right here, and it's not even going to quite, I think, go into this loop. So I'm just going to take it and pull it around. And if you want some to wrap some more and you've done this, you can always get another piece of wire out and then sink it into one of the bead caps just like this, and then go up and over the rest of it just to complete your look, so to speak. So I'll show you how to do that so that we have this one looking the same as all the rest, and you know what to do if you should run out, get low on wire. So I'm just going to cut a hunk of wire off. I'm not going to pay even attention to how long it is because I just need a little bit to go up and around this last bit. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right in here where the other one is. We're going to come up and around like we were before, and then we're going to go up here, and then we'll wrap it like we normally would up here at the top. Now we'll go down here where we've got these all in here. We have a multitude of them in here because we've got the extra wire. We'll cut this one off and then tuck it in a little bit. So there we go. So unless you really searched, you couldn't tell that we added wire to this one. So it's a little longer than the other ones are. And that's fine because we're going to put the big snowflake on the bottom of it. Now this one may need a bigger jump ring because I think the loop on the snowflake is a little bigger than this little one's going to work with. Nope, there we go. We got her. As long as I can get it closed decently. It closed fine. this one has the big snowflake on it. And now we need to make it a hook. And then we'll have all 4 done. Hey, Carolyn. So we'll just cut a hunk more of this wire for our hook. Oops. Dropping things on the floor today. So there goes the hook on. And now our green icicle is finished. So we have a green one, a red one, a blue one, and a crystal one. And you can see how I did this with the bead caps, and it went right, our twisted wire went right in between them, just like it was working on our double bead caps. We just used 2 bead caps instead of one double one. So there we go. And we showed how to add some wire if we needed to. So there's our icicles with the pretty snowflakes at the bottom of each. So I hope you all enjoyed making the icicles. Let's now hey, Tina. So now we're going to make this is 18 gauge. I try to use 18 gauge if I can for making snowflake frames because, well, oh, I think I put my little beads away yesterday. I need to, though, make sure anything I want to use is gonna, that one's fine on 18, but is teeny one's gonna be all right. Let's see if I can find some tiny little beads that we can check and see if the little tiny ones will fit on here all right. Because we do need, well, actually when you make your own, you don't need as small because you don't have, you've got a little spider web like thing in the middle as opposed to it has, they're straight across because they're welded. So but sometimes your smaller beads will not fit on 18 gauge wire. See, these ones won't go on. They're too small. So you have to make up your mind. Do you want to go with 18 gauge and have to really work at finding your beads that will work? You do have to realize that because you're going to spider web the middle, you don't have to worry about the real tiny ones. You can go with a bigger bead. So So I do try to use 18 because it's of course sturdier than the 20. And so we're going to cut 3 pieces of the 18. And I think we're going to go with 6 inches. So there's 6 right here. And we need 3 pieces of your 6 inch. So I'm just going to put these together, hold them together like so, bring it down to here, and then we'll cut this right at the, and then we need a 3rd piece. Oh wow, I like that move because look at the difference there. So we'll just cut this one down. We're just going to have a slightly smaller one than I was originally going to make. Okay. Make sure they stay together this time when we go downwards. Now I've got 3 pieces of 18 gauge, 18 gauge here. They're all about the same size. And now we need to find the middle of these and straighten them out. So I'm going to, oops, sorry, banged my light. I swear sometimes it's easier just to do it with my fingers than with the tools. That one's not very straight yet. We want them as straight as you can get them because these are your arms. For your snowflake, you don't want them all wonked out. So we got the tests back from my grandson's test they did. Turns out he has norovirus. It's a good thing that he just decided to keep himself in his bedroom because he didn't feel good, because norovirus is contagious. None of us want it. But I'm trying to figure out where he got it from in the first place, since he hardly ever leaves the house. So, of course, the 2 times I've had it, I was always wondering where I got it too. Okay, so we've got our 3 wires relatively straight. They're not quite, but pretty close. Get our ruler back out. Oh, I think my Sharpie's one of the things I dumped on the floor. I'm going to have to get that. Because what we want to do now is we want to find the middle of these. It's now 5.5 inches, so 5 is 2.5, so 2 3/4. So here, and we need to mark it. Put a little mark on the metal at 2 3/4 on all 3 of these. Now we need some smaller wire. Use 24, 26, whatever is something that you're comfortable with. I'm going to use some 24 because I have it right here. You can go as low as 28. I wouldn't go lower than that because, let's face it, it gets a little bit thin. So give yourself a goodly hunk, like a foot or so. Dang, I want to just keep banging that light all right. Do these sell good at craft fairs? The snowflakes do this. The icicles not as much, but my snowflakes I usually only maybe bring one or two home. So we got our wire. This is our 24. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our first two of these, crisscross them where that mark is at. Then we'll take our wire and we'll get down in here and wrap it around. Then we're going to come up here and go around one arm, and then we'll go over and go around the next arm. And now we're going to put the third leg in right here. And this one has slipped some. I can see that the mark is up that way. So now, because this is now a new piece, we're going to do just go around it, go down where you belong, you. And just like we did the others, we're going to just go around it. But this wire, since it's our extra, we're going to bring it back across and over the top of where this new piece is coming in place. Then we're just going to go around, and we're just going to keep going around. And you got to push these wires down so they stay pretty much where you put them at. And right now is when you pull them back into the shape you want them. So I'm going to put my fingers like this and just push down on them. So they're, get back where you belong. So now they're sort of, you can see they're pretty much even in there. So now we just keep going around with our little wire, just going from one to the next, looping it all the way around in a circle. Push it down and just keep going. And by the time you decide to stop, and you can stop whenever you want, I would advise at least 3 go arounds, maybe 4. But I will warn you, the more you put in, the more your center is going to look like a spider web, though it's going to be a really tight spider web. Now, I usually only do this when I run out of the blanks that I have and I want some more, because the arms aren't as sturdy, or, you know, they're not as unbendable as the regular ones are, because those are made out of the same wire they use to make memory wire. And so they are pretty much set where they want to be. So and now I think we're going to stop right here. I'm just about out of wire. So I'm going to make this go around a couple of times like I would if I was wire wrapping. So it's right there. You can do the same with this one since it is sort of in the center. I'm going to just take this and I'm going to push my wires down so they're pretty much evened out as much as possible. This one is going to I'm actually going to send it through. There's a little bit of a pocket of a hole right here. I don't know if you can see it right here. And I'm going to send it through that. Well, if I can get it to go. I want it to go right through that pocket of hole right there. And then I'm going to trim it off on this side. Trim this guy off as well. Then we'll tuck it in. So here's what I was meaning. See how it's sort of spider webbed in the middle here? I think this one's a little out of whack. But there you go. There's a homemade frame. Now, like I said, I usually use the pre-made ones if I can, because these are not as sturdy. I can bend these wires. And my regular one, the beadsmith style that I get, you can't bend them. Or, well, you can, but not easily. So now, if you want to, because this is handmade and not as strong, and see it's popped up a little bit in the middle, you can take your block and just sort of that's the one I pushed through. It's popping up a little bit. Interesting. Maybe that's not the one I pushed through. It doesn't seem to. Oh, yeah, it is. There it is. I'm just going to cut it off on this side after all. It wants to make a little gap over here, so we'll just cut it off right here. Okay. So this will work harden it a little bit and keep it in place a little better too. This one's bent out of place, so I want it to go down instead of up. So that's how to make a snowflake frame if you don't have the pre-made ones and you need to make some. Now this is German style wire, so it's a medium temper. With a soft temper, you would definitely want to hammer your frame because it's not going to be very hard, obviously. And since it's a soft temper. So that's how to make a snowflake frame. Oh, you're welcome. It's not hard to do. The biggest thing is keeping them pretty evened out. And like I said, now you don't need the tiny beads in here like we did on the, on these, because we don't have to worry about getting into the middle here because we've got this spider frame is already taking the middle. So and that's why I didn't worry about not getting those tiny ones on, because we didn't need them. This one just wants to not feel straight to me. Come on. Okay, that's better. So easily made. And on our original ones we made the other day, I didn't put any spacers in. And you can or you can't, depending on how you feel about spacers. I love spacers. I usually put spacers in just about everything. So if we do this one up, I am going to use some spacers on it. I actually I'm debating something. I'm thinking this snowflake, instead of having a snowflake on the bottom, may have an angel. You can put any charms that you want on the bottom of your snowflakes. It doesn't have to be a snowflake, and sort of like my icicles, they don't have to be snowflakes either, but I like the snowflake there. But if we do this one up, what color do we want to make it if we do this one up? Yes, I have seen people put a flatback crystal, glue a flatback crystal in the middle. If you wanted to do so, Cynthia, yeah, I have seen them do that. But if we make this up, what color do we want to make it, guys? We can make another blue and white one, or we can make another green one. We can make it red, or we can make it green and red. What are other sort of pale blue and crystal gold? Well, I don't really have gold beads unless we're talking gold spacers, Brandy, and I already made a frame silver. So if we use gold, we'd have to realize that it's going to be two-toned. Not that that really makes a big difference. And crystal. So okay. Everybody wants a difference. We're going to go with the crystal and gold since it was a pretty good suggestion. And see if these will fit on here. Hopefully they will. Yep. Oop. Well, I don't think I needed that many. I probably need some more crystals than I put out here, though. Excuse me. That works for me. So we're going to take our although I wonder if I have one just a little bigger than this one. Let's see what we got in here. Need a few more of these anyway, so might as well get a few more out. Is this one's shorter, isn't it? Well, let's see. We'll see. I don't think this one's any bigger than that one. It's just a slightly different color tones. In case you didn't notice, these will move until you get um, both sides of your strand on, and that is why I went to the other side to put on this side before going to the next set over there. Okay. Whoa. No, we don't want to do that. Come on, get back where you belong. Obviously, this one is too tight to slide down good. Now, this one took the big loop fine. This one didn't. Um, so we're going to just do small ones from now on instead of going to the bigger one of these. And we'll just use that big one for where we put our hook at. And if you have extra wire, you can always trim a little bit off. So. Now, Mary suggested to us the other day if we wanted to keep our beads like this one from rolling over since they're coins, you could always use a dab of glue on them. I have never done that, but you can. Now, see, now because I did little loops, this one is too close. It gave me too much room. So I have a choice here. I can either keep wrapping and cut part of this off, or I can unwrap it and make this side into a big loop. You can do it either way. Let's see, I just made this one into a bigger loop on this side. And I will probably do that with one of these strands too, so that we have 3 big loops, 3 smaller loops. so they're sort of consistent. So, but as you can see, I've got a bigger crystal there than I did on our other ones that we made because, well, this is one of those ones that's tight. And last one. Must be close to 10. I think I just heard my husband's car drive up. There we go. One golden crystal with silver in the middle. Snowflake. We'll put its hook up on this one. And then we'll hang a pretty, didn't use these ones. Well, that's all right. We'll put them away in a bit. Well, since we used gold, we can use one of these snowflakes that are in here. This gold is too different. I think this gold's the same though. Yeah, it is. So we'll use this gold. Yes, you can do each arm a different way. And I frequently will do every other arm in a different way, like we did the blue one, even though we used a lot of the same colors and crystals. See how these three arms are the same and these three arms are a different style. So you can do that. You can make every arm different. You can make every arm the same. If I'm going to make them different, either they all need to be different, or to me anyway, for me, they all have to be different, or three one way, three the other way. So, and that's just because I am not good at asymmetry. I like my things to have a pattern to them. So anyway, I got to put all these crystals away later too. But we're going to get out a jump ring. I've got tubes of spacers all over here. I need to pick them up and put them back in the rack. But come on, just one. And now we need to make it a hook, and this one's done. So, good call, Brandy, on the golden. It was you that wanted the golden crystal, wasn't it? Well, I believe, and then somebody else added the crystal. Where did we put the? There it is. I don't know why I did that, because this is for the hook, and it's going to be curled anyway, but whatever. I think sometimes it gets to be a habit to straighten it. This is actually obviously more wire than I did for the other ones, because it's coming down quite a bit further. I think I'm going to cut this loop off and make it just a touch smaller here. Kabang. Here we go. All done. So anyway, homemade frame and our snowflake. Now, unlike the ones that you buy, your arms will move. See, I just moved them. If you don't want them moving around, well, put a touch of glue on here, like here on the back would be the best place to put it at. I personally don't care if they wiggle around, so. But yeah, that's how you make your own frame and put it together pretty easily. They turn out, they are, like I say, more flexible than the ones that you buy pre-made, but they are just as pretty when you get them done. So there's our snowflake and our icicles. The one icicle we made today, the 3 we made yesterday, and then finished off. Well, one was finished already. This one was already finished. We put the hook and the snowflakes on these 2. And then did this one in its entirety, and then made the frame for this snowflake and put it there. So frankly, as far as the icicles are concerned, they make great window sun catchers too if you want to put them in your window. Snowflakes will too, because I mean, especially this one, it's all crystal. Though to me it feels like the snowflake is more for the tree rather than a regular just decoration that you could just hang in your window. Any of them would work in the window though, so if that's what you wanted to do with them. Thank you. It did turn out very, very nicely with the gold spacers and snowflake on with the crystals on the silver. So not that you see the silver other than up at the tips and right in the middle, but you do see it. Well, we're a little earlier than we normally are, but we're gonna turn up, and then we're gonna talk for a moment or two before we take off for the day. It's a little after the hour, 9 after, a little much earlier than I normally am, but I think we're going to call it a day anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed making these icicles and the snowflake with me. And if you don't have any snowflake frames, make your own. They're not that hard. And I'd love to see them if anybody decides to make snowflakes and icicles. You can put them on the our Facebook page. But anyway, there they are, and I hope you enjoyed making them with me. Here again is our crystal and gold snowflake. Like I say, with your homemade center, because you do have that little tiny spider web there in the middle, you don't need as tiny of a beads because they don't have to go down to where all the strands meet together. So that is one advantage to making them like this. You don't have to worry about tiny beads. So then, of course, we have our green icicle from today. Thanks, Miranda. Our crystal one that we started yesterday and finished today. The red and crystal we started yesterday and finished today. And the blue one we actually made yesterday. So, Anyway, icicles and snowflakes. Hope you enjoyed making these with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I think we're going to call it a day today. Bye-bye.